my name is Jasmine Bowen and you're watching REMIC TV. This is What's Going On, and today we have something very interesting that's going on, a very unique jewelry designer. But before we do that, I want to remind you all about our contest. You want to win $500 just for telling your friends about all the great videos you've been watching all afternoon on REMIC TV. It's easy. Simply click on our contest banner, enter your friends' names, fill out the information. It just tells them about REMIC TV, and there you go, a chance to win $500. And I know you've been telling your friends all about us anyway, so why not give it a try? Enter our contest. Now, on this episode of What's Going On, we have Dianne Robinson. Now, Dianne, you have a jewelry business that I think is very unique. But can you tell us a little bit about yourself first? Where are you coming from to start this business?
I started actually about 10 years ago. I was at home with my daughter and bored. Always out of
the
my
best
mind.
reason to start a business.
Bored. I read a lot, and but I constantly need to do something else other than the reading, other than the volunteer work that I normally do. And I was watching a girlfriend put together a necklace, and I thought, I can do that. It's looks very simple, and that's how it started, with me creating one-of-a-kind designs.
All right, and who was your first customer?
My first customer is actually my cousin.
Your cousin?
Yes. And she bought a turquoise necklace that I made, and it was for her birthday, and she wore it to an engagement party. And from that I got 2 requests to make a necklace for somebody else's birthday, and it just continued from there. I would get just word-of-mouth requests.
So it's mostly word-of-mouth that you
mostly word-of-mouth,
on.
yes.
Now, to start your own business, I mean, at all, it takes, I think, a very special kind of person. And we were talking before the cameras were on that you have a very interesting story that brought you to this point. So tell me a little bit about your background.
As a single mom, you're always looking for ways to increase income into your home. And I worked full-time. I went to school part-time.
Wow.
And I had a part-time job as well, but it just wasn't enough for the things that I wanted to do because I have 3 children.
Right.
And when I got into the jewelry design, I realized that I thought that when you're operating your own business, you're starting a business, you need about $500,000, which everybody always says. You know, you need your capital, you need your overhead, you need to put aside costs for this, and you know, and I thought, well, I don't have that. I'm a single mom, and how am I going to? I'm always talking to young women who have gotten themselves pregnant and are trying to get themselves out of a situation, and I'm always talking to them about doing things, and I figure, well, if I'm going to talk to them, I also need to walk that walk. So how do I take a little bit to make a lot? And I went down to the supplier and I said, this is how much I have, and I need to start, I want to start designing jewelry.
Now, what was your support system coming into this? Because you told me you had a very hard kind of way in.
My daughter's grandmother mentioned my name and what I do to somebody, and she commissioned a piece for me. The piece took 8 hours to make because I was using 0.5 centimeter seed beads, and 8 hours. And when I finished the necklace, the bracelet, and the earring set, and I gave it to her and I told her how much it was, she told me it was too expensive because I don't have a big enough name for her to spend that much money.
Did you price it according to what you felt, or according to the supplies, or?
With all my research that I did, I priced it to the supplies, I priced it to the time, and I priced it to my experience. And I gave it to her at a discount because it was a family, and it was at a discount, and she wasn't happy with that. Oh no! And I thought to I asked her, I said, well, would you rather walk into an event where 15 other women are wearing the same piece, or would you rather walk into an event where you're the only one with that piece, and you stand out as well as the piece stands out? But I didn't have a big enough name like Guess or.
No, I mean you're not Guess. It's just a fact.
It's just a fact. So, and I got discouraged. I won't lie to you. I did get discouraged because after that, several other people said the same thing to me, and I thought, well, how am I going to get myself out there if this is what I'm being told? And unfortunately, it was within my own community, and everything that I had made, I had given away. I just thought, you know what, this was the end of that. There were some charities that I worked with.
So you just gave up?
I gave up. I did. And a lot of people say, will front and say that, they persevered. But for me, I gave up. And there are other people that need to understand that, yeah, some people do give up and put everything down, and then there's a time that you pick it back up again. And what had happened is I had about $3,000 worth of products that I had made, and I chose 4 charities that I worked with, and I just, they were all having auctions for fundraising around the same time, so I packed up everything and I divided into 4 and I gave it to them. And all the supplies that I had at home, I tried to get them sold, but nobody wanted to buy them, so I thought, okay, they're just going to sit in a corner, and maybe one day in the future I will take them up again.
No, this is definitely a hardship.
It is a hardship because you do, I mean, one of the products aren't cheap. No. I have a turquoise nugget, and that turquoise nugget is sold by weight. And that nugget alone was $75. So, you know, you save up, you get your turquoise nugget until you have enough to make the necklace or the piece that you want to make. And when I had done that, somebody mentioned my name to Tom Caldwell. And somehow he got in touch with me, wanted to talk to me. We spoke a bit, and I mentioned my jewelry, and I told him what happened. And he said, well, let me see some of your pieces. I'll show it to my daughter, who is an antique dealer. And let's hear what she has to say for you. She got back to me, and she bought a necklace from me twice the price than what I was selling it for, and her words to me were, you sell quality, you make quality pieces, you're not an off-the-rack designer, you're a one-of-a-kind designer, and do not undersell yourself, sell them for what you're worth. And this is what I think your piece is worth. And the piece that she bought was an inexpensive piece, but and it took me, I think, 20 minutes to make the piece. But what she thought I was worth was what made me realize that I am good at what I do. And even though there will be, if I approach people, there will be people who won't be able to afford my pieces. They may not want to buy my pieces because I don't have a brand name. However, just because they don't do it does not mean that the next person won't want what I have to offer. So don't base my, my worth on somebody who doesn't want what I have. And don't base my worth on somebody who wants what I have. Base my worth on what I think I am worth, and then put myself out there. And there will be somebody, even if I sell 1 piece, in 3 months, I've sold a piece. And that's one person who will tell 2 other people about me.
Now, it sounds like you have recently learned how to empower yourself. Were there some self-esteem issues in the past? Like, what did you go through bringing you up to this point?
Self-esteem issues in the past, no. I grew up in Jamaica in a very privileged lifestyle. My uncle was a friend of the opposing party leader, Edward Seaga, and I mean, I grew up where I had a chauffeur, I had a butler, I had a maid, I had all of that. And I came to Canada due to certain circumstances, political, and all of a sudden I am taking the bus.
All of a sudden you had nothing.
I have, you know, I'm living with my mom, and I have to cook for myself.
No.
And I have to take the what to school? Are you kidding me? I could no longer walk into a store and be addressed as Miss Robinson. How can we help you? I am now a faceless person. And but the one thing that stayed with me with all of that was what my uncle, many things that my uncle and my aunt taught me as I was growing up. One of the things my aunt said to me is, Dianne, any person can be a woman, but not every woman can be a lady. And my uncle, one of the things he taught me, he said, do not believe that you are any better than the beggar that's on the street, because in the blink of an eye, you can be in his position.
And that's something you learned crossing the border.
Crossing the border, but it's something that has always stayed with me. He was, he helped out within the social service network within Jamaica at that time, and I would always be with him. So even though I had a privileged lifestyle, and yes, I could at times be very bratty. I was also very grounded because I saw that there were people I went to school with, but when we went around to the neighborhoods, I was seeing where they were coming from. So I learned how to adjust to situations, but I also realized that I'm no better than anybody else because we breathe the same air, and when we cut, we bleed the same color, and it's just a matter of where and who I was born to.
Right.
That makes a difference. So that was how I was raised, and coming to Canada, I, you know, made my adjustments, and I was good up until a year ago.
All right, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. You are watching What's Going On. This is on REMIC TV. I'm Jasmine Bowen, and we're talking to Dianne Robinson, a jewelry designer with a very interesting story that brought her to where she is now. So go take a break, walk your dog, get a drink of water, and come on back to check out the second segment.